When I look up at the towering cliffs, I will exclaim, "This wall is so high." But there is such a group of people who want to conquer it. Thus, the extreme sport of rock climbing emerged. When it comes to the sport, there is one person whose name is hard to avoid, and he is MADMAN. Who is MADMAN? Before introducing him, it is necessary to introduce the grading system in the field of rock climbing. It is generally believed that the YD's grade system in the United States is the most authoritative and widely used difficulty grading standard in the climbing community, which is used to describe the difficulty of climbing each rock wall. The difficulty of this system starts at 5, where represents the climbing category of rock climbing technology, and the number behind 5 indicates the progression of difficulty, starting from 5. The larger the number, the higher the difficulty of rock climbing. When the number reaches 5, 10, and above, the letters A, B, C, and D will be added after the number to further subdivide the difficulty. Take 5A, for example, which is already a very challenging difficulty level. Reaching this level requires climbers to have excellent strength, balance, and technical skills. This climb can involve some extremely narrow grips, movements that require precise force, and complex body coordination. B is one letter higher than 5A, and the difficulty will be further crossed. This level of line is fraught with daunting difficulties, with smaller and more dispersed grips and new heights of power demand. And when the difficulty reaches 5.14A, it can already be said that it is the limit of human beings. The grip points on the route can be very small bumps. Sometimes they even need to use fingertips to hold on the cliff, and the feet are extremely unstable. The climbers need to find the power point in places that seem impossible. The difficulty of 5.15A, 5.15B, and 5.15C is even more unimaginable, and climbers who can reach this level are called aliens because of the dense difficulty of the climbing route. The connection between the movements makes it almost impossible to breathe. Climbers need to maintain a high level of strength and concentration in a state of high tension, and any momentary mistake can lead to a lack of success. And 5.15D is a step further than 5.15C. And this difficulty has another name, MADMAN difficulty, because it was he who set this record. This difficulty is the limit of human climbing ability so far. MADMAN was born on November 2, 1993 in the Czech Republic. His love story with rock climbing began at an early age. While most children were still looking for fun in toys and games, MADMAN had found his own place on the climbing wall. The first time he touched the climbing wall, he was fascinated by the feeling of climbing upwards, as if there was an innate force in his body that drove him to keep climbing upwards. At the age of 9, he successfully completed the 5CB course, an achievement that caught the attention of the entire climbing community. Many climbers never reach this level in their lifetimes, but a 9-year-old boy was able to take on such a difficult route and make it to the top, which was simply incredible. This achievement is not only an important milestone in his personal climbing career, but also breaks the traditional perception of the relationship between age and climbing ability. He recalled the climb. "I didn't think much about it at the time. I just wanted to climb to the top. Every time I found a grip and every step I took, I felt a huge sense of accomplishment." During the climb, the young Adam was very mature in his understanding of the route and the choice of movements. He could accurately find every grasping point and foot point, move his body in the most reasonable way, save physical strength, and ensure the efficiency and safety of climbing. His coach once commented, "From the very beginning, Adam showed a talent like no other. His understanding and mastery of rock climbing far exceeded that of his peers, and his extraordinary perseverance and determination made him destined to go very far on the road of climbing." Later, it only took 4 years. At the age of 13, Adam managed to complete the difficulty level of 5.D, proving once again that he is worthy. This result made him the youngest climber to complete this difficulty level at the time and caused a huge sensation in the climbing world. At this stage, Adam Ondra was no longer satisfied with just completing difficult routes, and he began to pursue a higher goal, the limits of human climbing, trying routes that were previously considered almost impossible. He spent a lot of time on the climbing wall every day to develop his strength and technique, and of course, he also paid great attention to the development of mental quality. He simulated extreme situations in training to get used to staying calm and focused in a high-pressure environment. In the following years, Adam Ondra continued to create new miracles in the field of rock climbing, winning various climbing competition awards and completing a number of 5 up 14B and 5 4C difficulty courses in addition to competitions. Each success made his position in the climbing world more solid. Today, Adam is the first to climb half of the world's 5 1B and 5 4C routes. Adam would spend 6 or 7 hours a day practicing rock climbing, and in order to be able to travel all over the world. He even taught himself several languages. As Adam Ondra's influence in the field of climbing grew, he set his sights on the almost impossible difficulty of 515. It's a daunting area for countless climbers, and every 5 route is like an impassable mountain. But for Adam, these lines are the stage for him to push the limits. In 2009, 16-year-old Adam Ondra successfully completed the 515A difficulty. Only aliens can challenge it successfully, but actually a 16-year-old child completed it. He then went on to challenge for higher difficulties. In 2012, he successfully completed a course with a difficulty of 515B called Supernova, located in Montserrat, Spain. This route is known for its complex route design and difficult maneuvers. Of course, Adam didn't see this as his limit, and he had to challenge a more difficult class than 515 or even 515C over the years. Countless climbers have tried to conquer this difficulty, but no one has ever succeeded. Adam Ondra has set his sights firmly on this impossible challenge. He has a strong belief in his heart. He wants to be the first to conquer 5 and write a new chapter in the history of rock climbing. He set his sights on a rock climbing trail in Yosemite National Park in the United States, developed over a 7-year period by climbing legend Chris Sharma. This route is considered one of the hardest in the world. The total length of the route is about 30 meters, and it contains a number of extremely difficult movements and difficulties. Adam Ondra has been preparing for the challenge for several years. He traveled to Yosemite National Park several times to conduct in-depth research and experimentation on the route. Sometimes, an action may require hundreds or even thousands of attempts to succeed. He often spent the whole day under the rock wall, carefully observing every detail of the line and analyzing the possibility of every movement. His fingers were worn out countless times from the long climb, but he never complained, just bandaged it and continued to devote himself to training. After a long period of hard work and attempts, on September 3, 2002, Adam Ondra finally successfully completed the first climb of this route. This achievement made him the first climber in the world to complete a 515D course, setting a new record in climbing history. During the climb, Adam Ondra showed exceptional strength and mental qualities. He performed every movement with precision in the air and remained calm and focused in the face of difficulties and pressures. As I approached the top, I could feel my heart beating faster, but I told myself to stay calm and do every move perfectly. He recalled his last climb. At that moment, I felt as if I was one with the rock wall. We already knew the whole story of Adam. But why did Adam Ondra have such divine powers in the field of rock climbing? What's wrong with the other climbers? Adam understood that strength is the foundation of rock climbing, so he dedicated a fixed time each week to high-intensity strength training. In the climbing gym, he used a variety of training equipment, such as fingerboards. He would use his fingers to grip the bulges of different sizes and shapes on the fingerforce plate for long suspension exercises to strengthen the grip of his fingers. The training was extremely painful, and his fingers often trembled from the intense pressure. With each session, he set strict goals, such as hanging on a specific phalange board for a certain amount of time or completing a prescribed number of repetitions. In addition, he performed exercises such as pull-ups and push-ups, unlike normal pull-ups. He added extra weights to his body to simulate the stress his body encountered while climbing. Push-ups were not just a simple standard move. He changed positions and worked different muscle groups in the chest, shoulders, and arms to ensure that he could exert his strength from all angles when climbing. To improve his endurance, Adam often trained for long periods of continuous climbing. He chose a route with a certain level of difficulty, climbing several times without stopping, with only short breaks in between. This training method not only tests his physical strength, but also tests his willpower. During the continuous climbing, the fatigue of his body would continue to increase, but with tenacious perseverance, he gradually adapted to this high-intensity training. So, it's no surprise that he's been able to create one climbing miracle after another. Adam Andre's success is not only reflected in his conquest of difficult routes, but also in his promotion and influence of rock climbing. His climbing videos have been widely circulated on the internet, attracting the attention of countless people to the sport of rock climbing. His story has inspired many young people to pursue a career in rock climbing. Many young people have walked into the climbing gym after seeing his climbing videos and started their own climbing journeys. At the same time, he actively participated in various climbing competitions and activities, sharing his experience and skills with other climbers. In various climbing exchange activities, he always unreservedly shared his training methods, climbing skills, and experience in dealing with difficulties with other climbers. He said, "Rock climbing is a sport that requires constant communication and learning, and I hope that through my sharing, I can help more people make progress on the road of rock climbing." Under his influence, more and more people began to understand and love rock climbing, and the sport of rock climbing has been more widely promoted and developed around the world. Nowadays, rock climbing is no longer a niche extreme sport. It has attracted more and more people to participate in it, and has even become a lifestyle for many enthusiasts. As a legend in the climbing world, Adam uses his actions to illustrate what courage, perseverance, and the pursuit of the limit are. He has grown from a boy with a passion for rock climbing to one of the world's greatest rock climbers, and his story will inspire those who come after him to continue on the path of climbing, no matter how the boundaries of climbing difficulty are pushed in the future. The name of Adam Andre will forever be forgotten on the monuments of this field.